Welcome back. This is Back Door Cover. Dude, it sucks that our name has the word back in it because you can't welcome anybody back because it's awkward.
You came up with that name, you idiot.
Well, I mean, I wasn't thinking about... Anyway, we're here for another week. I'm Ross Bullen. I'm here with Dylan Chivary.
Hi, Billy.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm repping RG today. I'm a company man.
I'm repping Houston.
I'm just a walking billboard for Grand X.
I'm a billboard for the city of Houston.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
That's what HOU stands for.
Oh. I was actually wondering what that said.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, I put on for my city.
Oh, okay. I've heard that before.
Like Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Similarly.
By the way, we're not the only ones in the studio right now.
We are not. Big day. Huge day.
The return of...
Huge. Dan Regester.
Dan Regester.
Is
he
back.
is back in the building, back in the booth. He's scrolling Twitter right now. This is your big moment. You're on Twitter. What are you doing?
What's going on?
You're being
Are we
reintroduced.
live? What's happening?
We've been live, sir.
Allow you to reintroduce yourself. Your name is Dan. D to the A
You're
N.
just dropping all kinds of lyrics on us right now.
Public service announcement.
I think it's important that we talk about all the different places that you've been on this show, according to this show.
Like the real places or the places we've talked about?
The real places.
Oh, yeah.
It's an impressive list.
You went swimming with great whites off the South African coast.
Right. And then I snorkeled in the Mississippi.
You snorkeled
With blind children.
I was teaching blind kids.
You went Central Park in New York to
Flying kites. Selling kites. Selling
kite
kites.
business.
Right.
Well, you sold the business.
I did.
You were a
It's
lumberjack.
no longer mine. I actually can't even talk about the kite business anymore because I actually sold
Tightrope
sold the rights.
walking in the Himalayas, I believe it was.
Mhm.
That's right.
Where else did you go?
Lumberjack.
Maybe Indonesia, maybe for something.
I think it was a lumberjack for a hot minute.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Anyway, the point is, Dan's back
Yeah,
permanently.
Dan's back. He's back. Like he has a job. We're paying him to be here. The last few times he was here, it was pro bono, but not anymore. We're actually paying this guy.
The dream is over.
The unemployment dream.
The unemployment dream's over.
It's true.
It was becoming my shtick.
That's
like
not
I
the
said.
dream that everyone shares, but for you, that it works out fine.
It was a good life.
It's over.
Talk
It's
about it.
ride is
Talk
over.
about it a little bit before we get into sports.
Are you happy to be back? Let's start there.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
To an extent. I was running out of money.
So you're back. You're happy to be back because you now have a steady income again.
Because I can go back to Vegas. I don't think I was able to afford Vegas again.
The only
It's
reason you're
important.
happy to have a job again is so you can gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respect that.
And if you are to do that, you should probably do it on mybookie.ag
Yeah, that's a good place to do it, or in Las Vegas. But
or in Vegas.
if I was single and had no children or animals to look after, I think that's the only reason I would care if I had a job is for gambling purposes.
It's a big part of my life.
You know, because I'm not that interested in food or cars. I just want to gamble.
Who's a car guy? I don't get car
Nobody
guys.
in this room is a car guy. I can
You
tell
can't be a
that right now.
sports guy and a car
You know
guy.
what?
Choose
Car-
your side.
Car guy is kind of phasing out. There aren't many car guys anymore. It used to be a big thing, but it's not a popular
That's
hobby.
true. For our age span, I think you're right.
Good.
There-
I don't need more souped up Honda Civics.
People are about like fuel efficiency now and
Teslas
Uber.
and Uber. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a big thing to have like a cool car anymore.
You don't
Some
need
people,
nitrous?
there are some guys, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You don't need nitrous on your Honda Civic.
I don't need the loud exhaust,
I'll say this: when I'm
ground
on,
effects.
if I'm on like 360 or Mopac in Austin or whatever, and I look to my right, and this happens pretty often because we have a large contingency of wealthy tech guys in our city.
Yeah.
And I'll see some dude in a Ferrari or a Lambo or some weird, other smaller exotic car that probably costs like $200,000-$300,000, and I'm never like, man, that's tight.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
19-year-old me would have been real excited to see a Ferrari next to me on the highway. Now I'm like, dude.
But at this point, I'm like, I don't care how wealthy you are. Really, like there's something cooler you could have bought with that money
absolutely.
than a fucking car.
You could have bought a home.
Or I'm just even you probably already have a big bad home. I'm saying there's so much shit out there today. Like, come on, dude. What do you spend 45 minutes total in your car a day?
Yeah.
What you doing? Nobody. You live in Austin. You're not going fast anywhere.
And a Lamborghini, that's not an everyday car. You don't drive that every day.
You have to if you're Austin
No.
Tech try-hard guy who owns a Lambo.
No, you have a Lambo, then you have like
You have
a
a
Ford.
guy.
You have a Ford F-150 that's your day to day.
But you have a guy that takes care of it. You have a Lambo. You're not doing it yourself.
You have a Lambo guy?
These tech guys.
Oh, if you have a Lambo, you don't take care of it yourself. That's one of the rules.
That
I
is
mean,
one-
You pay someone.
I have an F-150, and it's not because like I want to haul shit or tow things.
You want to be a truck guy.
No, I just like the way it looks.
yeah, you're
It's
just
that simple.
It's all about looking like a man
Aesthetics, yeah.
and
keeping up.
being in traffic and looking over at the woman in the car next to you and just being like, yeah,
It's keeping up an image.
you see this truck?
Yeah, I drive a truck.
Got a black lab,
Penis
black
in-
F-150.
Got a penis in here.
I'm a man.
But yeah, you see a guy in a Lambo, you just kind of assume he's a little douchey, right?
No matter what. And that's no offense to Lambo guy. I mean, Lambo guy knows he looks like a douchebag.
Hey, I would love a Lambo.
Sure.
Coming from a guy that
I'll take one.
valeted for a month and a half, Lambo guy's not the worst guy.
Who's the worst guy?
Ferrari guy.
No, I disagree.
I don't know, man.
I totally disagree with that.
I think
Ferrari guy wears the Ferrari like get up. He wears the Ferrari hat,
that's
the Ferrari polo. Like it doesn't matter where he goes, he's always rocking Ferrari.
Ferrari guy is older than Lamborghini guy. Ferrari guy is retired, has too much money. He's 55, retired
twice
early.
divorced.
Lamborghini guy is new money, like 38, has a 24-year-old girlfriend,
Yeah, but
Right.
and in a cigarette boat.
but Lambo guy is paying you like a few $100s to keep his car right in the front.
Right, he's new money trash.
He's
Ferrari
new money
guy,
trash.
Ferrari guy's a little classier.
Yeah, thank you.
He does some weird sex stuff. But Lambo guy is
He's
young,
just an asshole.
and he's just a piece of shit.
Ferrari guy is definitely
He drinks strictly Patron at the club.
From
You
the
know?
bottle, like from the
Yeah.
bottle though. He walks around
Yeah.
with the fucking the bottle.
Ferrari guy drinks martinis.
Ferrari guy definitely pays two hookers to pee on each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Ferrari guy's up there with Trump. Well, I guess we should talk about
We're
sports.
so off course right now.
But before we talk about sports, go to Man Outfitters at manoutfitters.com and check out all the great menswear we've got for you there that we've curated. A guy named Ryan Simpson spends every waking hour of his life here at Grand X making sure that we've got the best menswear available in the world on manoutfitters.com. We've got both a Android and an iPhone app for Man Outfitters. Download that shit. Shop on there. It's the easiest, best shopping experience you can have on Man Outfitters. Use the code GAMEDAY for 10% off your entire order. We've got all kinds of brands: Patagonia, Travis Matthew, Mizzen & Main, Cole Haan, Costa, bunch of other stuff that's been added since the last time we updated this paragraph that I've been reading for 6 months. But Man Outfitters, check it out. Now let's talk about sports. Dan, is there anything specific you would like to address sports-wise before we get into the NFL?
No, I'm just really enjoying the 76ers team.
Did you go to any game? Well, we'll talk about the Sixers when we get to NBA. Did you go to any sporting events in your 3 months of vacation that you just had?
Yeah. I mean, remember the Pac-12 championship?
Oh yeah, that didn't go well.
Didn't go well for our
you
Buffs.
saw your Buffs just get manhandled.
God, what? So the Buffs were a massive.
We called that,
disappointment
by
in
the way.
end.
Remember?
Yeah.
You
And
said they were
I have
due.
to say though, I'm not
Oh, yeah,
huge
that's
with
right.
Levi Stadium. I don't get down with fucking San Francisco.
They got exposed.
Why not?
Well, first off, the stadium's in Santa Clara. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's no bars around. So I got there early. The stadium didn't open till 4. I got there at noon.
Yeah. I
Very
remember
little
your
tailgate scene.
I remember your Snapchat. It was pretty depressing.
Yeah. There's no bars around. It's a stadium in the middle of nowhere. It's just mountain ranges surrounding it. And like there's nothing around it. There's literally nothing around it. So when you go to the stadiums too, like you're paying like $30 for Jack and Cokes. Or like $15 a beer.
Excuse me.
It's expensive.
I don't know. I wasn't impressed with Levi.
Well, fuck it. Let's talk about the NFL. We've got.
We have a
All right.
Super
Here's
Bowl
what we're
coming
gonna
up.
do. All we have left is the Super Bowl, right? So we're gonna talk about the games that happened
Yeah.
this past weekend. We're not gonna talk about the Super Bowl until next week. Obviously, the Super Bowl matchup is
We're just gonna ignore it.
we're gonna pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, it's a couple weeks away. We have time to
Right.
discuss.
So we don't want to talk about it until next week. So it's Atlanta and New England. We're gonna leave it at that for now. Let's talk about the games last week.
I mean,
Rodgers.
what do you really want to talk about?
I want to talk about how the Packers
both
were the
massacres.
hottest team in the NFL, and they just got walloped
They're beat up.
by the Falcons.
Yeah, I tried
I
to
did not see
ride.
that coming.
So I had Packers money line the week before and made a bunch of money, and I was like, "Fuck it, let it ride. Can't bet against Rodgers. No way, that'd be stupid." And I did. I did the same thing again.
That was the
yeah.
smart play, though.
They were never in that game though.
No.
They were never in that game.
I mean, they didn't score in the first half, did they?
No. And I mean, their defense looked. They got completely exposed.
Well, we knew that the Falcons were going to score because they can score on anybody.
Yeah,
And
but
we knew
not
the
like,
Packers defense is
not
kinda
like
trash.
that. I mean, it was. They could have put up 50 if they wanted to. It was just every guy that Matty Ice hit was wide open by about 15 yards. It was crazy.
Julio Jones is a thoroughbred.
Oh my god,
That guy is an animal.
Did the 75-yard touchdown he
They
had?
had-
Holy
was-
shit. He was just throwing people off of.
They have so many weapons. Coleman, Freeman, Julio, of course. But I had this discussion with Dave this morning. PGP Zone, Dave Ruff. I think we'd appreciate and think the Falcons were much better. Like we'd know they were as good as they are now if they weren't the Atlanta Falcons. It was the exact same roster, but they were a different team and they weren't called the Atlanta Falcons. I think we'd appreciate them more.
It's really weird because Atlanta's a huge city, right? It's a gigantic city. It's one of the more popular cities in the United States. There's no reason that their NFL team should have as poor of a reputation and
All
as,
their sports teams.
like nobody really cares.
Nobody cares, which is weird. Like you get that with LA or Miami because there's things to do.
Right.
But I mean, is there a lot to do in
They
Atlanta?
don't
Well, I
have
mean, they got a lot of strip clubs,
They don't have a hardcore following?
a lot of good
Atlanta?
golf courses.
No.
No, I mean, I'm sure they have a small contingent of hardcore, but no.
Every piece you
Oh.
see right now on the internet where they're talking about Atlanta, it's not about the high-powered offense. It's not about like Matt Ryan being an MVP. It's about how bad their fans are.
Right. And how disappointed the NFL must be that they have to deal with Atlanta as one of the teams in the Super Bowl.
Like the Boston Globe, I think, wrote a legitimate piece called like, "Are we even excited to play the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons? Because if we win, it's like, whatever."
Well, fuck the Boston Globe and everyone in the entire Northeast. Those people are so spoiled that
Well,
they're,
Boston.
that they're contemplating whether or not
Let's
they're even
not-
excited to
Let's
be
not
back in
group
the Super
whole
Bowl.
Northeast together.
Okay, New England,
Us Philadelphia fans, we don't really.
the
We're
New
not that
England
spoiled.
area. It's yeah. Okay, so here's one headline. It's hard to get pumped up about a Super Bowl against ... Atlanta. Like it's not one of
Dan
the biggest cities
Shaughnessy.
in the U.S. I'm
Huh.
just saying it's very odd.
That's
And
interesting.
dude, and they have one of the best offenses we've seen.
I think,
Very, very good offense.
I think the Patriots wanted New York. They wanted their revenge. They wanted Eli,
I mean,
or at
dude,
least
that's just not
Rodgers.
how it works.
or at least Rodgers.
The point is, it's weird that Atlanta is such an underwhelming sports city, and that there's not. I mean, it's like people are disappointed that it. Like I get, it's like you know how like when a really shitty small market team makes the NBA Finals or the NFL Super Bowl or whatever,
Or the Tampa Bay Rays make the World Series.
and everybody's just like, oh goddamn, it like kind of takes some of the magic out of it. That shouldn't be the case, based on the size of Atlanta as a city.
True. That's a good point.
And it is. And you just don't take them seriously. Like, even watching them beat the shit out of the Packers, I was just like, Atlanta. All right.
Is
fine.
Atlanta like are people born and raised and do they stay in Atlanta, or is it more of like a transplant city?
No,
'Cause that was
it's
our
too big to be one or the other. That's
No.
like saying, like, are they born and raised in Houston, or is it like a transplant? I don't fucking know. There's millions of people. It's huge.
Okay.
It's you can't put it even in that.
I'm just trying to come up with like a reason.
Nobody knows the
No.
reason is the craziness of it. But part of it with the football team, at least, is that Matt Ryan is boring.
But he's also not been this good. This is the first year where he's kind of.
But
stepped
nobody
it up.
cares that he's good because he's boring.
What do you mean kind of stepped it up? He's the MVP
Well, yeah, he
most
is.
likely.
But he wasn't like he was very average throughout his career.
Oh, he wasn't average. He was above average.
I don't think he was a top 10 quarterback before this year.
He was a top 10 quarterback. He wasn't a top 5. but
Dude,
he was
the
top
worst
10.
conversation to come out of the Atlanta's great season has been, is Matty Ice now
Is he elite?
an elite quarterback? It was funny because Mike and Mike on ESPN had a segment that they did their best to avoid saying the word elite. The segment was, is Matty Ice a tier 1 quarterback now? They were like, how do we talk about this without using that stupid fucking word? But anyway, enough about the Super Bowl, and enough about...
Are we not talking about the Patriots?
Yeah,
Not
we're going to talk about the Patriots game now,
Steelers.
but enough about the Falcons. Patriots, Steelers... First of all, Big Ben contemplating not coming back next year, apparently.
What? I haven't seen this.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
so
this either.
he basically said that he's going to take the offseason to think about his health, his family, and next season, if there is a next season, is the way he put it. And people are freaking out.
He might retire.
I don't think he's going to retire.
Is he a big concussion guy? How many has he had?
I mean, he
been
had that
hurt a lot.
He had that motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he's been hurt a lot, man. He gets hurt. He gets hit.
yeah.
But people are freaking out. I don't even know how seriously he meant it, or like maybe it was just to stir up some, Big Ben talk. But yeah, apparently he's weighing his options as to whether or not he should come back. Which, man, that would pretty much ruin the Steelers for a little while.
He'll be back.
I mean,
I think so too.
as long as they have Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, I feel like he'll be
Nope.
there. He's going to be there.
Gotta have a quarterback.
No, I'm saying he's gonna-
okay. I
he's
thought
gonna
you were
come
saying
back.
they'll be fine.
They're
I was
like because those two are in the prime of their career. I don't know why he would leave.
yeah, I mean, did y'all watch Steelers Pats? I assume
Oh yeah.
It was a boring game.
it's just disappointing.
Either
It's like
game was good.
it was okay. It was just The Steelers had horrible red zone issues all year, where they could not finish, and it ended up costing them a chance at the Super Bowl. But
Le'Veon Bell going down with like a
the
bad
game
groin.
was pretty much ruined from the first series.
The thing is, though, before the game even started, people were like, all right, if you play this zone defense, Tom Brady's going to carve you apart. And they just kept with the game plan, stayed in the zone D.
And got
and
shredded.
Fucking Hogan had more catches in that game and like more yards than he had
in
like, all of college. Or
in his
whatever.
entire college career.
I think he had
in the first
3
half.
less catches than he did in college, but like he had more yards.
But
or
more
something.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was hilarious because all these NFL DBs were tweeting during the game, like, play fucking man-to-man. What are you doing? Switch to man-to-man. And also, about Hogan, like 4 of his catches, first he had 1 drop, but the first 4 catches were almost drops. He didn't have a single clean catch. Every one of them was like a bobble or like a slight like.
But he was wide open and he had
dude.
all day to like, I can just.
When you have all
juggle.
white receivers like that, don't you kind of have to man up and just make them beat you?
I have no idea what they were
They
doing.
thrive in a zone defense.
Dude, Tomlin has been getting trashed for a couple of years now
He's
because he's been there forever and he doesn't seem focused anymore.
It's amazing what the Patriots can do with the white receiver.
Here's an
Unbelievable.
honest question: are these guys, these white receivers, in the league if they're not on the Patriots? I mean, maybe Edelman.
Edelman, yes. Amendola, he's not a great athlete.
Hogan's not in the league.
It's the best example of system success in any sport on any team.
Okay. There are a few high school football teams around this area very much like that. So Lake Travis, which is where I live, real close to Lake Travis High School, they just won state championship. They won like 5 consecutive, some like, I don't know, 6 years ago. And it's a bunch of white guys who have been in the same system since they grew up playing together. The same system throughout all, Pee Wee and middle school and then high school, and they just have it down perfectly. They had a good quarterback and a couple good
They
receivers
just have
this year.
5 slot receivers.
And they just tore through the Texas State playoffs at the highest level, and it's a 95% white team. It's unbelievable.
That is insane to me.
It's crazy.
They just run really crisp routes. They have good hands, very reliable, not afraid to go over the middle.
Very fundamentally sound.
And you have to have an incredible quarterback to make that plan work. You can't have the Texans can't pick up a bunch of small white guys and Osweiler's suddenly going to be throwing accurate passes. That's not the way it works at all.
The quarterback's going to SMU, so he's good.
Oh, no. I'm just saying Brady makes Hogan look good.
Oh,
And like
absolutely.
I said,
absolutely.
I'm telling you, I feel something coming in the Super Bowl. That dude is going to drop an important ball because he almost dropped every single one of those passes. But also, the Steelers, if you make that dumb of if you refuse to make an adjustment to cover that guy when he's clearly become the number 1 target on the field, you never deserved to be in that game in the first place. It's embarrassing that they were leaving him open after 6 wide open catches. He was still wide open. And I thought the game was relatively boring after I saw Bell didn't come back out after that one series. I was like, this is fucking over. There's no way they beat New England without that guy.
Without Bell, Big Ben was beat up from a few weeks before from that Miami game.
From life.
Yeah, from life. Just,
That guy's just been getting beaten down since like 8 years ago, since those rape charges or accusations.
Before that, he had, like we said, the motorcycle accident.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's just he's gone through a lot, and
That's a breach of contract, right? You can't ride a motorcycle in the NFL.
I don't think it was then. I think that
I'm pretty sure
it was
every
one of the-
professional athlete has that in their
I
contract.
think because of that, that's now in like every.
I think
athlete's-
Remember
one of
Jay
the
Williams
contract.
when he like shredded his legs in that motorcycle accident, like before he even played in the NBA? I think.
no.
Remember?
I don't remember is what I'm saying.
I think it's before he ever played his first. I think he was drafted like really high.
And then
Got
he
in a motorcycle accident and was never able to play again.
crashed his hog.
Now he's a personality.
I
on
don't
ESPN,
get
think.
like I just all right. I understand motorcycles. I fundamentally get why like the rush and the thrill but I don't understand how you get to that point in your life where it's like I have to ride this dangerous vehicle every day or I'm gonna kill myself.
You know, we already trashed car guys. Fuck motorcycle guys.
I just don't.
Let's trash them too.
I'm not trashing anybody.
No,
I'm just except people who own Lamborghinis.
Motorcycle guys are the guys that have like a midlife crisis. You know, they just want to change things up. Things in their relationship are getting like they're in their.
But
50s.
they're young
Every
motorcycle
time I see a guy
guys.
pass me on the highway on a motorcycle, I just shake my head. I'm like, are you trying to die? And you don't worry about yourself. You worry about people who change lanes without seeing you. It's just
Even
so
if you're the
dangerous.
best motorcycle driver in the world, all it takes is one of the 90% of the earth that's morons to switch lanes into you, and you're dead. You're a goner.
And if you get paid millions of dollars a year, like to use your body to play a sport, don't get on a fucking motorcycle.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how you get to the state of mind where you're like, you understand the consequences, you understand the danger, and you're still like, nope, I have to have this.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
need this.
I don't know. It depends what kind of motorcycle you're talking about. If it's like a Harley, like it's more laid back. I kind of understand that. But when you're on the crotch rocket, there's a type of personality that rides a crotch rocket, and those people are dicks.
Yeah, none of my boys.
I'm not looking out for those people.
None of my boys are rocking crotch rockets. None of them. None of my friends.
I don't have one of those.
Those
in
are
my
the guys
squad
that
either.
swerve in and out.
If one of my friends gets a crotch rocket, he's cut out of the group. That's it. You're done.
Out the squad.
That's one of the stipulations. No crotch rockets. What the hell? Oh, Big Ben got us onto motorcycle guy.
But yeah, I mean, going back to that game, New England, I feel like they had a really easy road to the Super Bowl this year.
It always feels like that.
Your Houston Texans, the Steelers were beat up.
The Texans gave them the closest thing to a game. I'm proud.
If only
Proud of our loss.
if only he had a quarterback.
If only we had a guy that could throw a football. Oh, fuck.
Where does Romo go?
I
Houston,
don't
Denver.
know. First of all, he's not going to Houston unless
I say Denver.
I think he's a Jet.
He can't go to Houston because Dallas would have to cut him for that to happen, and they're not going to do that
They're gonna
because
trade
that
him.
would be insane. Yeah.
Jets, Jets. Maybe
Fuck.
a Bear.
Oh my God, it'd be so depressing if he went to the Jets.
Maybe Cutler goes to the Jets and Romo goes to the Bears.
Dude, is there not a chance that he stays?
There's a chance, but I
Because
don't
like,
see
think about it. His career's he's been so hurt repeatedly.
Think about how much cap space they can clear by getting rid of him.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Just make him a quarterback
You
coach.
can't have that much. You can't pay a backup.
Yeah, it's
that
not really a
much.
situation where they're like, this guy's been good for our franchise for years. We keep him on and eat up $25 million in cap next
Right.
season. Yeah, no, that would be pretty stupid, especially for a team that's going to be a perennial Super Bowl contender for the next 5 years.
Because he's the highest paid
Don't say
player on
that.
that team, right?
Right.
He has to be.
Don't remind me.
Dan, it's true. Just accept it and move on past it. I've had to do the same thing. Let's get to the NBA. The Wizards wore all black to their game against the Celtics last night in some kind of statement of like it was a funeral. This move has been done too many times.
Was that about the Gordon Hayward comment or whatever?
Yeah.
The whole Gordon Hayward situation.
Nobody cares.
No. I mean the Celtics fans cheering Gordon Hayward. Were cheering Gordon Hayward when he came to town. Because they want. He's a free agent next year, and Right, but they're saying that it was like it caused this whole controversy. All right, Mike is saying that the Wizards were the team that wore all black, and I'm saying it's because there was this whole controversy that started because Gordon Hayward came to town in Boston, and the fans cheered for Gordon Hayward instead of their own like as if they were going to try to like woo him into town when they already have who's their
Isaiah Thomas?
no, not Isaiah Thomas. They're small forward.
Crawford?
Not Crawford.
Dude, regardless of the reason,
One of their players was saying that like it was kind of like, or it was kind of insinuating that Boston was like a racist town.
regardless of the reasoning, it's a played out move that has been done so many times. The let's all wear black to the game. Let's treat it like a funeral. But
Okay, Mike is saying that's not the reason. But why were they wearing all black?
I have no idea. It doesn't matter.
The last time these two teams played, John Wall got in a slap fight after the game with Jay Crawford.
Not a slap fight. He poked him in the nose.
Yeah, and they got a little chippy, and they said this is round 3 because it's the third time they played. So it's just a hatred between the Wizards and Celtics.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
Oh,
And-
that's a rivalry. That was a thing.
It's not a real rivalry. Nobody cares about the Washington Wizards versus the Boston Celtics outside of Boston fans and maybe Mia Khalifa. That's it.
Is John Wall even on the Wizards next year? Probably not, right?
Dude, I mean, he's going to get paid. It's possible. In the way the cap shit all grew now, I have no idea how that is going to work out. But they spanked the Celtics last night. Other NBA news, Steve Kerr is apparently upset that the players made a mockery of the All-Star voting by trying to get guys like Zaza Pachulia to start. I mean, at some point in our lifetime, they will have to have like an MLB Hall of Fame type journalist voting situation for the NBA All-Star Game because it's what's that?
Yeah, Mike keeps
They
talking
actually
off mic.
have a new system in place this year. This is
Yeah,
the
no,
first
I'm
time.
aware of that.
Well, journalists are a part of it.
Yep. So are fans. So are players.
So players.
My point is, thank you, Micah. My point is that at some point it's going to have to be only journalists because it's still a completely fucked system. Like Russell Westbrook not starting this year over Steph Curry is an abomination. It's sad. But what else? Kyle Lowry got robbed.
What happened here?
Apparently his house in Philly, fucking Philly, was part of like a multi-million-dollar jewelry burglary ring. Like these pro Ocean's 11 style dudes were popping different houses for like a couple $100,000 per house, and Lowry's house was one of the houses that got hit.
Sounds
And-
like that deal that happened in Hollywood. They made a movie about it, actually. Like Paris Hilton and
Oh, yeah,
Lindsay
yeah.
Lohan, all those people got... But it
What
was a
was-
bunch of little teenagers that kept sneaking in their houses and stealing, like...
I'm
you
trying
know,
to remember what
Louis
the movie was
Vuitton
called.
shoes
Yeah.
and jewelry. The Ring, maybe?
Something ring.
I think, yeah, something like that.
Anyway. Yeah, no.
That's exciting.
But I think those were like idiotic, weird, celebrity-obsessed teens, and
Yeah.
these are like hardcore, masked-up, professional.
Like Pink Panther, like Diamond
That's
Thieves.
awesome.
Yes.
I love that stuff.
It's like, dude, NBA guys get hit a lot, though.
As
They
long as
need-
nobody gets hurt, I'm all about
Right.
I'm all about
Yeah.
burglary.
No. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Imagine if
He's
somebody
got
went for-
insurance. He's fine.
Doesn't
well, maybe he
doesn't
doesn't.
insurance cover that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it does. Homeowners insurance.
I
of
mean,
course.
hopefully he has it.
Surely, if you're an NBA player, you have like badass insurance that covers any type of loss like that.
Do you think Nick Young has a insurance policy on his shoe house?
I would, if I was him.
Wait, what's his shoe house?
He has a entire guest house just for his shoes.
But he got hit too. He got robbed last
He did,
year
Yeah.
and like got a bunch of Yeezys taken and shit.
You know you have too much money when you have a shoe house.
And also, he's just a special kind of person, Nick Young.
You know, he actually probably expanded that shoe house since breaking up with Iggy Azalea.
Dude,
he's got
she-
more
Did
Did
money
y'all
to
see
blow.
the pictures of her that were leaked yesterday?
Oh,
he,
they're bad.
he got out on
Oh
the
my
good side of that
God.
thing, man.
What happened?
She never looked good.
That thing's a
But no,
train
that-
wreck.
Her ass is
I
just
feel
a
bad.
mess.
I feel bad talking about
We're
it.
going
like
to talk
this.
about it a little bit, though.
But that was a train wreck.
Google Iggy Azalea. What pops up will be the most recent pictures that we're discussing.
She's in a
Booty-
bathing suit with her new boyfriend.
It's the shape of her as a whole
It's
is
just
bad.
weird.
Very, very middle heavy, and by
I
middle,
just don't even
mean
know how it
Like
happens.
stomach up, she's an attractive young lady.
minus her whole face and head.
No, her face is pretty. She's not super hot, but she has a pretty face. Yeah. I say pretty. I didn't say gorgeous.
She looks like Christina Aguilera on Downers for 20 years.
I've seen her compared to the Wayans brothers in White Chicks.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's exactly what she looks like.
yeah. She kind of
Yeah.
looks like that.
How could you call her pretty and then acknowledge that?
She has a pretty face.
I'd fuck the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, maybe I would.
No, but Nick Young, for as stupid as that whole thing made him and the Lakers look, he definitely won. Like, that needed to happen. He needed to get the hell out of there. First of all, she's one of the most ridiculed, made fun of rappers.
She's got to stop rapping.
Holy God, she's awful. And then now she just looks awful. Everything about
Yeah.
get it together, Iggy. And her name is Iggy.
I
Can you
don't
imagine?
think that's her birth name, though, Bill.
But well, you're probably right. But
Yeah.
she's Australian.
She is.
That sounds like an Aussie name, Iggy.
You think Nick Young is thanking D'Angelo Russell nowadays?
Probably.
Probably he's just like, oh, you know what? Like, I know we had our beef, but like,
This worked out well.
yeah, thanks. Like in hindsight, like I owe you.
Now I'm banging 18-year-olds instead of
And her new boyfriend looks almost identical to Nick Young.
that whole situation is fucking weird. Let's talk about the 76ers.
We can talk about. I mean, we don't really need to talk about the Sixers when we can talk about LeBron. I'm for either because
Let's
we
talk about LeBron first then.
we all know my hatred for LeBron.
Do you want me to explain the LeBron situation? What's
can.
going on with LeBron right now?
How he said that if he sent out the very passive aggressive tweets, right, to his GMs, saying that if they want to repeat, if that's something they want to do,
They've had
they
a
need to
rough
make moves.
stretch here where they've lost like 5 of 7 or something like that. And so he has started complaining that their roster needs work. He's basically said he hopes their GM isn't satisfied with where they're at, that they're not better than last year, and that, quote, we need a fucking playmaker, end quote.
the same team from last year plus Kyle Korver, which I think is I think that's a good addition.
That's a great
addition. He's an awesome shooter. So I'm not really sure how they're not better than last year.
LeBron is a huge, huge baby.
He's a
And
pussy.
this is the kind of shit that used to make him look so bad back in the day before he got back on the right side of the public's.
Is he? Or
Well,
am
not
I in the
now.
minority now, still being a LeBron hater?
You're definitely on the.
Like everyone hated him when he went
smaller-
to Miami, but I hate him.
Yeah,
when he's from
that
Cleveland.
fad is kind of over. I've always been a big LeBron guy. I love LeBron.
I hated him when it was fun to hate him. I haven't hated him in years.
I've never hated him.
But
Well,
this
I mean,
this shit though is what is
me and
the-
LeBron have beef. We know, you know that.
Yeah, he snubbed you when you were a kid.
Yeah.
But
I
this
mean,
is-
it was
this is
more
the
than
part-
a snub. It was
This is the part of LeBron and his personality that makes him not likable. He's complaining. He's got multiple All-Stars on his team. They just grabbed arguably the best three-point shooter in the league to help him out. And he's still bitching about the roster and saying they need a playmaker. Newsflash, dude, that's supposed to be you.
the best part. The best part about the tweet is he's like, if we want to win a championship, if that's something we want to do,
Like, just totally backhanding.
like of course.
Bitching about a roster that you're a part of is got to be such an uncomfortable thing. That's like me saying,
Yeah, dude.
our podcast, it would be better if we had some better personalities on it. And while I'm sitting next to you
Right,
guys.
even if it, or
He does it all the time though.
it's worse. Like it'd be like this. It'd be like if before we came in here to record today, Dylan was firing off tweets about how we need better personalities on the podcast in order to grow it. If we want to be a big time podcast, that's something. If that's something we want to do, we need to add better personalities. And then Dylan came in here and recorded because LeBron has to go play
Like
with
nothing
these guys.
happened.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
he's going to be in the locker room with that roster that he's complaining
Yeah,
about.
that's uncomfortable.
And guys in there are like, man, I wonder if he's talking about me as being part. Like, what the fuck,
like,
dude?
yeah, he's talking about you.
That's just really poor
No, it is.
form all around. It's and it's weird and it's funny because it's guys like, I mean, I'm gonna use my team as an example. Like James Harden has to be looking across the table at LeBron like, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Well,
you're
okay.
complaining about your roster?
But at the same time, you see a team like Golden State, who's already the best offense in probably NBA history, pick up Durant in the offseason, and it's like, okay, this team is they are going to win because they're able to make a stupid addition like that. And that's what he's looking at. And it's like we could have done something like that too.
You can't. Though.
I'm not saying
nobody,
I'm not saying what he's doing is right.
They already
I'm
have.
saying that's why he's doing.
They already
it.
have their big three. There was nobody in free agency that they could have brought in. And
No.
done
They
like-
don't have offensive firepower like the Warriors. Not even close.
Nobody ever has or ever will again.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
I just
That's
think
what he's looking at, and that's what he's basing his rant on.
I understand, but what his problem is, he doesn't have a grasp on public perception. He doesn't understand how the regular human being thinks and how poor that makes him look when he does this shit. I get it. If you want to have a meeting with your GM and be like, look, man, the only other team in this league we should be thinking about is the Golden State Warriors. Look at their roster and look at ours. We've got to keep upgrading. We've got to do everything we can. That's fine.
How?
But meet
Who are they
in
gonna
private.
Get? Are they going to be like, oh, can you go get
Yeah, it's
Anthony
gotta-
Davis for us?
That's
Like,
a private conversation. I totally agree. How old is LeBron, by the way?
30?
He has like 2 more years in his prime.
32,
Is that
33.
it? Maybe
32?
he sees the door
I
closing
don't know.
for another
He's
championship.
He's a
because
freak.
The Warriors.
He might have like. He's
32.
32.
Yeah, he
he
doesn't
might
have-
have like 6 more good years. 'cause
That body's gonna start.
He's never
going
been hurt.
downhill. He's 32 already. Jesus.
Dude, he's been in the league since I was like
Since he was
4
18.
years
Dude,
old.
I remember like his SI cover like from high school is like the next big thing.
And I know they always say
32
this about
already.
NBA players. That it's all about that playoff mileage. Like that's why
Yep.
that's why Kobe broke down. It's just they would always go so far in the playoffs. That was like an additional season.
Yeah.
How old was
And
Kobe when he retired?
LeBron's been deep in the playoffs every year, pretty much.
I think Kobe retired at like 30, 33, 34.
No.
No.
Kobe?
Come on, dog.
Dude, he was like 40. He was old as fuck.
Yeah, he was like 38, 39.
Because he was
I think.
broken down for about 5 years at the end.
He was
37.
37, but like he was pretty much retired. Since he
His
was, like,
last
33.
3 years or so were just
His
he was
body
just,
just deteriorated.
he might as well have been retired.
He couldn't even hit an open J anymore. His legs were just gone.
Point is, LeBron needs to figure out a better way to communicate with the ownership and management of his team
Yes.
that does not involve the public, because he just looks like an ass. Now let's talk about the 76ers.
Philadelphia 76ers.
I stated on here before, I've been riding the Sixers hard the last few weeks, and it's paid off big time.
One of the best teams in 2017.
They hit stride, and they've been one of the best teams in 2017.
Trust the process.
And even with the injury, they still don't have Ben Simmons back. Bill Simmons.
Or so Ben Simmons' MRI just came out. I think he is fully healed.
Yeah.
So he's coming back.
I think they'll take a couple more weeks.
We're
or
gonna
something.
we're gonna play it safe. I don't
Not
think
gonna
we're.
force
I
him
think I
back
don't think
out
we're
there.
like big on making.
What was
playoff
his
run.
injury again?
His foot.
His foot.
You don't fuck with feet.
You never want to see that. Ask Yao Ming.
Ask anybody with a foot that hurts.
But I mean,
I have
Embiid's
2
been
of 'em.
playing like an absolute monster. He hurt his knee the other day though, so we've been sitting him the last few games. But he's just
been
a
one
treat to watch.
He's been one of the best players in the league. He's been incredible.
He's a
been
talented young man.
he's great to watch on the court and then on Twitter. He's the best Twitter like.
Yeah, ask Mia Khalifa about that.
Fantastic personality, very talented basketball player. Shame that he lost his whole
Very
first
likable
season.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could throw it down.
He's a very smart dude too, and very witty and funny. But
Yeah.
I feel like the accent kind of like throws people off. So like you don't
I enjoy it.
you don't I know, but you don't think he's like smart or funny or something until you see his tweets.
If you're a
But-
racist,
But I'm saying if you heard him talk, you'd be like, oh, okay, like you wouldn't expect that from him
right? Yeah, I know.
because he's been in America for like 10 minutes.
So I bet against Philly last night. Who'd they play?
Clippers
Oh yeah. I bet against Philly last night.
without Embiid
I took Clippers -4.
made sense because like I mean
Dude, I saw
we had Nerlens and Wells.
Nerlens starting, and I was like, okay, surely LA can take care of the Clippers sans Embiid. Nope. Fucking Clippers. If I have any advice for anybody out there, it's never bet on or against the Clippers. Just if the Clippers are in the game, stay away from it. They're the most inconsistent bunch of slapdicks. Totally unpredictable. You never know when they're going to just mail one in. Fuck the Clippers. I think I've probably bet on them, let's say 50 times in my life.
Or just hop on the
And
Sixers
I've
right now.
lost probably 45 times.
We're just the best team in basketball right now.
But yeah, I'm back. I'm riding Clippers like we rode Buffs until it
You mean the
backfires.
Sixers?
I mean Sixers,
Yeah.
not Clippers.
Don't ride the Clippers.
Do not ride the Clippers. I'm riding the Sixers like we rode the Buffs until it fails me.
Just take those points.
And they keep getting too many points. They'll get like 9 points against a shitty team.
No
I'm
respect.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Vegas has yet to realize that Sixers are actually decent.
Well, and I think it's because the general betting public is still so, like they're mostly out of touch. So they see a matchup against the Sixers and just pile money onto whoever
Because they've
they're
seen
playing.
the Sixers
right.
the last 5 years.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Which makes the spreads even bigger in that way. If you know what you're doing, you can get some good value out of the Sixers right now. Speaking of value, when you're placing these value bets, go to mybookie.ag. And we've got a promo code for you, backdoor. It's one word. When you make your first deposit, you get a 50% match. So if you put in $100, you get $50 from mybookie.ag. So hit mybookie.ag today, place some bets, take into consideration some of the things we've talked about today. Mybookie.ag, you play, you win, you get paid. Now let's get an award.
Be a pussy.
Also that, important note.
Check out my bookie.
Expert or rookie?
Check out my bookie.
Check out my bookie. Now let's get a word in from some of our other podcasts here at Grand X Media.
Welcome to the Inside TFM podcast. J-Bone here. Ross kicked me off of backdoor cover because my takes were too hot and my bets were too good, and I was, showing him up, which is fine and cool. But if you want to hear me still talk and say Bone Zone things with my co-host Jay Goldman here, sports, head on over to the Inside TFM podcast. Subscribe on iTunes every week.
Hey, you looking for a new podcast? Give Dudes Doing Business a shot. We are a business podcast. We give you insight into what we're doing here at the company, but we also bring in people from the outside, some third-party folks to come on and talk to us, because business is a sport, as a wise man once said.
That was you, right?
That was not me, but it may as well be, because I've adopted it as my moniker.
There you go.
It's my life now.
Fresh out of school, stuck in, cubicle purgatory, no matter where you're at. We're just business without buzzwords, so I think we might improve that commute of yours just a little bit.
Dudes Doing Business. Check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud.
You're sitting at your desk. You're bored. You're combing through spreadsheets wondering how the hell you're supposed to distract yourself. You know what the answer is to that? The Touching Base podcast.
You got time to kill, baby. Kill it with us, Touching Base. Just give us a shot to earn your business. I promise we will not let you down. Thank you.
Subscribe on iTunes.
We're back. Dan's back. Dylan back. Let's talk about our records last week. Dylan and I both took the Packers to win straight up. That was
Big old L.
We lost that one.
That was the L.
Just call it what it is.
And then Dylan predicted
the
the
over,
over to hit in the Atlanta game. That hit hard.
That was easy.
I took the under. I don't know why.
What was it, 60-ish?
Yeah, 60
Yeah.
is like the easiest over.
In real life, I took the over. Not sure why the fuck I took the under on here.
Just
but
to be contrarian, you wanted to switch things up. You wanted to keep it interesting for people
dude,
at home.
sometimes in between us recording the show and, the few days before Sunday, I will change my mind about something. It happens. I'll try to share it on our Twitter account if I do.
That's a sign of like a real degenerate gambler, though, like me and you.
Sure.
Like when I faded myself in Vegas the entire time and I lost every bet.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's not good.
No. It's not a winning strategy, but, it's just the way we choose to live life.
Dylan and I both took the Pats to win and cover, and we both took the under in that game to the over hit. Let's go to the hotline. Backdoor cover hotline. The number is 800-392-6344. Give us a call. Talk about your team. Give us a take. Leave your name. Start with your name, if you would, so that we know what to call you when we're belittling you on the show. We'll play all the best calls every week and respond to them. I think we've only got one call this week, which means you people are slacking. We need more people to call in.
Especially football season's ending, so we need more phone calls. To
Call
make the show
and
interesting.
tell us what you think is going to happen in the Super Bowl. But make it interesting, not boring. We don't want to be bored.
It doesn't even have to be Super Bowl.
Or the NBA. Talk about
It doesn't even have to be basketball.
or cricket.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we did the hotline deal, we didn't have anybody call in, so we had to make Brad from the cubicle over call.
Yeah, one of our coworkers.
Yeah. He did a
We
good
don't want to
job.
get back to that situation.
No. We need y'all to call.
Yeah. We really need you, please.
He was a good sport, though.
Dear God, please.
Thanks for playing, Brad.
800-392-6344. Here's this week's call.
Hey, what up? I listen to you guys a lot. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I know you guys love that shit. I went to Miami. I got some beef with TFM. y'all talking shit about Miami all the time. Our frat scene is dope. I graduated about a year ago now, and y'all are just jealous you don't go to a school where the sun shines year round and the bitches are fucking 10s when all your shits are fucking 5s. Also, shouts to Dallas for having a great season, but I'm all in on the Packers now. I don't think Matt Ryan can outsling Aaron Rodgers. I also pronounced Dylan Chivalry's name correctly for the first time. I feel like you guys always mess around with it. I'm just curious as to know what his actual name is pronounced as. All right. Later, guys.
So can we cut out all of it except the last part?
No, we could probably leave it in. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Okay, so the Miami thing. I don't remember who dogged.
Ever
I'll
talking shit on
dog
Miami.
him right now. I'm not a fan of the city of Miami. I don't. It's just not my thing.
I did say that. I think
It seems a little. Well, I don't want to get too much.
I've
into
never
it,
been.
but
I've
I'm not
never
a fan.
been.
it's like North Havana.
So real quickly about Miami, I'll say this: I love the movie Scarface.
Good movie.
Mm.
Okay, so you said that your city's full of 10s and ours is 5s. Have you been to Texas, bro?
I also went to school at UCLA.
There's some.
So like they were also Miami girls in Orlando.
Texas is up there with the best looking girls in the country. I'm sorry.
That's wrong.
No, that's very accurate.
That's false.
I don't know
No,
if
it's not.
I don't know if ratio wise, we might have we might have a lot of really good looking women, but we also have a lot of fat, gross
Yeah.
Well,
chicks.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
it
We're in the
goes
South.
It goes California, Florida.
It's not California. It is not. California might not even be in the top 20.
What? What do you?
I am not. I'm
What
sorry.
world are you
California is the most overrated state for good-looking women. I'm sorry. It's not. It's ridiculous.
Oh yes.
I've spent serious time there.
Have you been
I
in
doubt
LA?
you have. I've been to L.A., San Diego. I've been to. Of course, I've been to fucking L.A. L.A., San Diego, San Francisco. I've been spending a lot of time in San Diego. It is so overrated.
The most
I'm sorry.
beautiful
live
people
there?
in the world in the 50s went to LA to like chase the dream, and then they just all mated and created these beautiful creatures.
But here's the
Arizona
thing.
ranks above California. So does Texas. So does
Arizona
Florida.
is all girls from California, and every hot girl in Texas, like in Austin right now, is from California.
There's a
That's a stupid take. That's a terrible, stupid, idiotic take.
There's a very big distinction here, and it's first of all, if you're talking about the entire city of LA, there's no way you could describe it as attractive because it's not. If you're talking about like Beverly Hills,
Oh,
Like
sure.
Hollywood.
then sure.
Of course, there's a little.
But if you're
section.
talking about LA as a fucking
LA as a whole is very
metroplex,
attractive.
No, it's not, Dan.
dude, LA as a whole is attractive like Houston as a whole is attractive, is like Chicago as a whole is attractive. That's just
Okay,
an insane
San Diego,
thing to say.
LA,
San Di-
San Francisco.
I spent a month in San Diego and I didn't see one attractive girl. That's not a joke. Not one. A month. And I won.
Are you sure this wasn't Silicon
And I was
Valley?
in Pacific Beach, which is like prime like surfer, like
No, I'm with
young
you, man.
people going out area.
Right.
Dude, there are not good looking women in
The
San
few
Diego.
times I've been out
Great
there,
city.
I wasn't like blown away or anything. I mean, I might have seen a couple pretty blondes, but it's definitely not what you expect. Like I expected it to be like every other person I saw made me want to, rip my pants off.
Arizona, Texas, and Florida are light years better than California
York
in
City.
that department.
New York. I think
I'm
New York
sorry.
City itself brings New York.
California
up.
people, you can come at me if you want, but it's the truth.
Dude, I did
Buffalo
not.
brings it
I'm
down.
excited about this. I didn't know that phone call was going to inspire such a heated discussion. And this shit
much
got.
hate on
I
California.
will put Texas Tech up against any school outside of
What?
the University of Arizona.
USC?
Oh, Tech girls are much better looking than USC girls.
No.
You're blinded by the song girls on the sideline of USC football games. They are very attractive, but that's not representative of the whole student.
No,
body.
I think their student body's probably pretty disappointing.
it absolutely is.
A lot of really smart
maybe,
people.
Maybe Stanford.
Dude, too many smart people.
We're talking USC.
you
We're talking
cannot-
USC.
yeah.
Too many smart people at USC. It's hard as fuck to get into USC. If smart schools, University of Texas is a great example. No offense to my Longhorns out there, but not a lot of hot chicks.
Top 5 schools right now. University of Arizona is number 1,
Right.
and you can't. No one's gonna argue with me on this.
They're all like
I will
Colorado
I will
and
fight to the death.
California
What
girls.
about Arizona State?
Number 2 is Florida State.
Nobody's from Arizona though.
No, Dan, that's not what we're talking about. What do you mean no one's from Arizona?
All the girls that go to Arizona or Arizona State are from California.
All
or
of them,
Colorado.
100% of them. 100% of them.
Most of them.
You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Arizona is number 1. Florida State is number 2. Arizona State is number 3. After that, he gets
UCF.
a little fuzzy.
Well, it's hard because it's like FIU, FAU, UCF.
I
but I don't think
all
any of
those
them actually.
together.
Florida
That's
schools
all
together.
one school to me.
Yeah,
All
I don't
directionals.
think any of them actually go to any of those schools though. They just claim
Our school
them.
is pretty attractive.
SEC is
Okay.
overrated,
UCF's
by the
pretty
way,
attractive.
for girls.
Yeah,
It is.
No, SEC is a different hot.
Georgia might be top 5. And they're to
Lot
me,
of
they're
hot
far and
Georgia
away
girls.
the best looking girls in SEC is at Georgia.
but less. They're like less slutty, less openly.
And they also kind of got like a maybe they're I don't know. I won't get into this.
Were you gonna say like maybe they're inbred?
I didn't say that. You said that, but you might have read my mind.
Texas Tech is top 10 though.
Tech has hot chicks. It's you got to be careful though.
Raider Rash.
Yeah.
Not
whatever.
because of that necessarily. Just Lubbock makes you fucking crazy in the head.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there. It's just desert and craziness.
It smells.
I've heard it smells.
It does.
I've avoided it my whole life. I'll never go.
Depending on which way the wind is blowing, it'll smell like cow shit.
You know what actually has a
Ew.
surprising amount of very attractive women?
What?
South Carolina.
I'm not surprised at that.
Charleston.
I've never been.
I think Charleston might be like
Look, warm weather climate, it will attract.
true, but I'm saying
good-looking people.
Charleston might be the most attractive city in America.
That's one of my favorite cities in America.
I think if I'm single and I'm going hunting somewhere for babes, it's probably Scottsdale,
There you go.
Arizona. If I'm picking one place with the knowledge that I have built up over the years from working at a company that gets to see a lot of babes via internet, I'm picking Scottsdale. For the age range that I would be interested in. If I was single, I'm not. 25 to 30-year-olds, that's where I want to be at. Or let's say 20 to 30-year-olds, Scottsdale.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this is
Need to get a little lower.
I mean Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, it's all same
Tempe?
area.
Sure,
You
Tempe.
said- isn't it Tempe?
Tempe.
But Scottsdale is where I'm going.
Pretty much the Waste Management Open.
But anyway, what I don't understand. What
Which
the
is
fuck?
why we should go to the Waste Management Open.
Miami. What was this dude's point? We dog on Miami. We never said a fucking bad
Yeah, I
word
don't know
about
what he's
Miami
talking
ever.
we just talked. I think we said maybe one bad thing about the city as a whole, but the University of Miami is very nice. It's a very.
Oh,
nice
I do
private
vaguely remember
institution.
us dogging Miami as a city. But it is kind of a shit ass
It's a
crime
it's
dump,
kind of a dirty
club
city.
dirty ass fucking city. That's the vibe it gives off.
And if you don't speak
So
Spanish,
what?
like you're not going to get a lot accomplished.
Right.
When I
so
think
what?
of Miami, I picture someone in a club holding a cheap bottle of champagne, wearing sunglasses inside.
I picture someone in a club holding a machete.
Wow.
What?
That's what I picture.
Wow.
A Cuban guy in a club with a machete. That's what I picture when I think of.
That's okay.
And that's fine. Own it, Miami. Don't bitch
That's who
about
you
it.
are. You're a machete guy in the club. That's who you are.
Right. God.
He wanted me to pronounce my last name.
With like a bedazzled button down.
I've done it a million times on here, but I'll go and do it again. It's pronounced like, okay, the word chivalry
Except without the L.
without the L. Chivalry.
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 No, it's super easy.
Yeah, chivalry.
I'm doing it on. I'm purposely
Yeah.
mispronunciating your name. You know, it's for fun, for funsies.
Yeah, we have
That's
fun.
what we do here.
We have
But I think
fun.
you mispronounce everyone's name.
Also, that
Like, on purpose. We'll say it's on purpose.
Regester.
I got heated there for a moment. I'm sorry. I'm
it's
passionate
okay.
about this.
It's okay. You've got weird shit in your
California's
coffee.
just super overrated.
Fucking
in that
California.
department.
Just.
It's a great state.
I got a feeling we're gonna have some angry voicemails.
And San Diego is one of my
got
favorite
your back,
cities in
Allie.
the country. Don't get me wrong. It's just so is San Francisco. Actually, I'm not an LA fan. San Francisco and San Diego, great cities, but the quality there, whatever.
Fuck.
So,
All right.
So wait, just to finalize everything, give me your top 5.
I don't have a top 5. I have a top 3.
You have top three.
I need more time to go to top 5. Top 3 is Arizona, Florida State, Arizona State.
Okay, I just meant states, not necessarily.
Oh,
You
states?
can't do that.
Arizona 1, Florida 2, Texas 3.
Oof,
I just don't think you can go state. Like, it's too big of an area, man. There's like, I don't know how to judge the whole of Texas.
I don't know. I've been in Texas for going on 3 years now. I'm not.
Because I picture,
Overly
here's
impressed.
what I picture. Driving through, like, Houston. I'll go with my hometown. Driving through Houston, let's say I'm on Westheimer, and I'm cruising, and I'm looking in cars and at people on the road and people walking. There is no way in hell I'm coming out of that situation thinking, this is an attractive city.
Right.
No fucking way. And I think the same thing applies to, like, Los Angeles. Any big city, the majority of the people are ugly, stupid, and deplorable.
But you also have to see where I'm coming from too, where Philadelphia, like Philly hot, and like Florida hot,
Big
just
differences.
not even in the same like
Big difference.
universe.
A Philly 10 is a Florida 7.
Right.
Maybe a Florida like 5.
Shouts to all the Philly girls that Dan's hooked up with over the years. He thinks you're trash.
Yeah, keep listening, please.
I think it's also important that you go check out rowdygentleman.com. For all your patriotic T-shirt, Dylan's got a fine Reagan Bush 84 T-shirt on right now. We've got all kinds of. I'll say this: we've been working extremely hard on the lineup of T-shirts that are coming out in the near future. So pay attention because we've got fire coming out over the course of 2017. If you use the code BDC, all caps, as in backdoor cover, you get 20% off your whole order at rowdygentleman.com. Get on there. Check out the tees. We got great tees. Great tees. That's what we do at rowdygentleman.com.
Strong T game.
Yeah. BDC. Use that code at checkout. Get 20% off your whole order. That's it. That's it for the show today. Who's got shouts?
Shouts to all my California people out there who hate me. I love you still.
Shouts to the Cali girls.
Good God.
I got your back.
We
Defend
just
you.
I spent a month there, not one attractive girl.
I find that hard to believe.
In the
but
wrong spots.
I find it hard to.
I was in,
wasn't.
I was in these spots.
He was actually in.
I was in these spots.
I've been to the area he lived for a month.
Mission Beach, Pacific Beach,
Like
La
there's
Jolla. I
one
was
spot
up
in
the
California
coastline.
that doesn't have attractive girls, and that's Silicon Valley, and that makes sense.
It's a big
Yeah, but
state.
surely that's changing now. Like there has to be enough big company, like billion-dollar companies in Silicon Valley where they're hiring hot chicks to do like receptionist work and whatnot.
Wow. Reception.
Ross Bolin
All right, that came off.
at WR Bolin on Twitter.
I meant
Not like computer engineers. Just
no, not that hot chicks can't do smart stuff, but I think it's a pretty well-known fact that the hotter you are, the less hard you have to try. I would say it's probably a fact for attractive people in general. The hotter you are, the less inclined you are to be super successful because you don't have to do much.
You know,
Lower
we're gonna-
aspirations, you're saying?
We're gonna have a women's march in the Grand X headquarters in the next
No,
month.
for dudes too, man. Like, you look at the most powerful, smart men in the world, especially in Silicon Valley, where you have to be a nerd. It's not a bunch of models walking around. It's fucking nerds. It's ugly dudes. It's Zuckerberg is not an attractive man. You know?
Dude's got stacks.
Spiegel is probably the best looking CEO in fucking Silicon Valley, and he's a fucking nerd too.
Jack's not bad looking.
No, he's not.
Dorsey?
He's not.
Is
No,
that
he's
his
not
last
bad.
name?
Jack's probably the best looking in my.
But he's-
if we're ranking him.
Is he like the least successful though? Because he's yet to monetize, like figure out a way to monetize
No,
Twitter.
dude, he got up in all other types of shit too.
Dude's not missing many meals, Dan.
No,
I think he'll be okay.
figure it out,
He owns-
Jack. I
he-
love Twitter. I don't want to see it
Seriously.
die.
He also got Square going. He's got a lot of other shit on his plate.
Yeah,
When's
he
the last time you used
I
Square?
think he's in the same.
Square is
pretty
very
regularly.
widely
Is
used.
it? Yeah.
I think Jack is probably in the same boat as we are. He's like, Twitter's great. We had a good run. I'm gonna ride it into the fucking you know what I mean. I'm going down with the ship. I don't think he's worried
Figure it
too
out.
much.
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
he's just enjoying himself with us on there. He's like retweeting random people now.
Like, he's at yacht status, so he's fine.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Anyway, sorry to all the everyone in California, the entire state of California. We apologize.
Seriously, not that there aren't good-looking people there. I'm sure there are. I just never seen them. And I spent quite a bit of time there.
Shouts to all the attractive women who also have ambitious, career-minded
And
goals.
shouts to our Uggos out there. We love you, too.
Shouts to the beat bitches. You
Shouts
know?
to the Uggos, man.
On
Beat
both
bitches we
sides
love
of
them
this,
too.
We got love
both
for you.
sides of this sex spectrum. Shouts to the Uggos.
Yeah. Much love for you. Keep listening.
Deuces.
Oh, review on iTunes, subscribe, follow us all on Twitter at WR Bolin, at DShiver, at Dan Regester.
Dan _Regester.
That's it.
Uh,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next Wednesday.